Give me the ring.
Hello and welcome back to RPG Quest. We are currently deep in the midst of a Call of Cthulhu actual play. My name is Chris. I am your host and humble keeper, but of course the real stars of the show, as always, are our intrepid investigators. Say hello, investigators.
Yo.
Hello.
So, joining us for this scenario, we have Brendan, aka Panda, who's playing ATF officer, retired ATF officer turned consultant, Frank Bosco.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And, of course, FBI agent Theo Bloom, part of the child abduction response team.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's been a busy couple of hours for our investigators on the trail of abducted child, 5-year-old Regina Balfour. You identified one of the kidnappers as former ATF agent George Lewinston, who it seems caused a distraction by killing himself after throwing Regina into the back of this car, this Ford Taurus sedan that you've been looking for. And finally, you got a clue through George's own daughter, Nicole, that George's niece and Nicole's cousin, Lindsay Peel, drives a Ford Taurus. Not only that, she and George were quite close. And not only that, Lindsay Peel works for Child Protective Services. And you discovered that about 2 years ago, she tried to and successfully took Regina out of the care of her parents and into the care of the state for at least a few weeks before that case was thrown off. So something bigger is going on here and something strange. But, for the moment, your target is Lindsay Peel. And that's where we find our investigators, Theo Bloom and your boss, Lucy Bates, driving her black Dodge Charger, the FBI vehicle, followed, of course, by Frank Bosco in his Jeep. All of you flanked by other police officers driving through the rain and the storm. And, of course, behind you as well, a SWAT van heading to Lindsay's address, the place where perhaps she has this child, Regina, hostage. How are you guys feeling at the moment?
Yeah, I imagine Bosco's all keyed up. Probably been a while since he's been involved in a raid.
Of course. It's finally some adrenaline.
I think, Theo's probably just sitting in the front seat, not really saying much, but definitely, this whole thing just doesn't seem to really add up. So she's sort of, I don't think she's got a very good feeling about what they're about to get into.
Yeah, of course. Now, you are geared up completely, so make sure you have your weapons and everything on your character sheets. The other thing I was going to say as well, of course, you were wearing armor. You were wearing...
like a flak jacket.
You're wearing basically a flak jacket, exactly. So on your character sheet, there is a little section for armor, and you can put down, I believe it's 8 points for a bulletproof vest. And basically that means any damage that you take will first be soaked by your bulletproof vest.
Okay.
Now, Theodora, part of the FBI uniform as well, you always wear a concealable vest. So you always have an armor value of 5. But of course, it doesn't stack like that. When you put the bulletproof vest over, it's just going to go up to 8. But remember that when you take it off, it's still part of your it's this light underlay armor that the FBI agents... I don't know if that makes you feel comfortable or not wearing it, but it's something that, that you always wear.
Okay.
So, we see this convoy of vehicles driving through Cleveland through the rain and through the storm before you pull up in this suburban area downtown. This is the right address. Lindsay Peel's house is largely unremarkable. It's just one story. Looks as though probably lives alone. And immediately, as you all pull up in the rain, the local police begin forming a perimeter as Theo, you and Lindsay, emerge from your vehicle. Frank, you emerge from yours, and emerging out of the SWAT vehicle, you see this this guy who kind of looks somewhat like a thumb, wearing this heavy jacket, flak jacket. He's got little glasses on, little goatee, shaved head, and he's got the chain with the badge dangling on it as he walks out, sort of taps on the side of the van and walks over through the rain to all of you. It's like, I think we need to set up a sniper.
I mean, if you feel like that's best, can't hurt.
Great. All right. I'm going to send my boys in with you, okay?
I mean, I think Bosco looks slightly confused for a second. He's like, you're first through the door. You got the SWAT team. We're following up, right?
I assume that's how we're going to do this, unless anyone objects.
Yeah, Theo's gonna look to Lucy, like, seeing how she's reading this, because we know that, obviously, like, last time this didn't go so well. And yeah, so she'll just say, look, we have no idea what is behind that door.
That's right. Lucy says, look, if she is in there, she's got a hostage, and it's quite likely that she's armed. We know that George Lewinston was. Maybe we can just scope this place out first.
Nothing about this says to me that she intends to harm that child. But that could change if we kick down the doors.
Give me a persuade, please.
That is a 94 versus 66, which is a failure.
The SWAT guy looks at you and says, if you're going to be going in there, you're sure as hell going to need backup. I think we should go in first.
That or, I mean, y'all go in through the front, loud. We come through the back, a little quieter.
He sort of looks at Lucy, and Lucy looks at both of you and then back to him and says, sort of nods. Just okay. We'll sneak around the back.
You good with that, Theo?
You got it, Ross. But I'm going to be saying that looking at Lucy.
She just gives you like a pat on the back before she draws her Glock.
I think Frank, like, takes a minute to turn that into a joke. He's like, no, it's Bosco. You'll remember eventually. It starts heading
Yeah,
down.
probably just rolling my eyes as I also draw my weapon.
Great. Give me a stealth roll from each of you, please, as you begin to form a line and move around to the side and the back of this house.
That's a 78 versus 20 fail.
It's a 63 versus 30 fail from me as well.
Yeah. As you begin to move sort of up the driveway and around to the side entrance of this house, there's no car in the driveway. There's no lights on. But as you make the first steps up the yard and onto the property, there's a garage sensor light that you failed to see, which flicks on, illuminating all of you.
Well, if anyone's paying attention, there goes the element of surprise.
While this is happening, the SWAT team begin to get into formation and make their way towards the front door. You see they've got a little battering ram as well if they need it. Do you continue around to the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. You head around the side, past where, the bins are, and through the side entrance which leads to the backyard. As you head around, there is a door facing the back as well. Again, there don't appear to be any lights on.
I mean, I think Bosco, like, gives a look to Theo and is just like, you want to take point, or shall I?
Yeah, look, I'll go in front.
Cool, yeah. You move towards this door, the heavy wooden door which leads to the backyard. The fly screen door opens, but the wooden door behind it is locked.
So are we waiting for SWAT to break in before we do anything?
I assume we have walkies, right? Like or I guess just so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if we have walkies, then the minute that you realize the door is locked and ask that question, Frank will just, like, do 2 blips on the walkie, as the, like, signal, go.
Yeah, you hear back, copy, and then you hear the breach, and then you hear a loud thump and smash of the front door being broken in.
All right, well, I guess that's our cue.
Yeah, whoever's at the door can give me a strength roll, please.
Oh, I feel like this is just going to play into some stereotypes.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I can... All right, so that is 15 versus 40. So that is a hard success.
Shit, yeah. Love it. We're here for it.
Amazing. You feel like this rush of adrenaline. How do you approach this door?
Oh, look, it's gotta be, a pretty decent kick.
Yeah, beautiful. You kick it out and it, bang, flies in, revealing, the back kitchen. Again, all the lights are off, and you hear the sounds of movement coming from the front door. And you even see just a quick little glimpse of torchlight, as though these SWAT team with their weapons and torches seem to be moving through the other side of the house.
All right, well, I guess I will yell, FBI. Miss Peel?
You don't hear anything other than the sounds of the movement of the SWAT team, so you can hear them going room for room, shouting clear.
Yeah, same. Rear engine's clear, whatever room we're in, like sweeping through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kitchen's got a little island that overlooks the lounge room. You walk into that, and it's a pretty small house, so in short order you meet the SWAT team. There's the kitchen, the laundry, the living room at the back, and there seems to be a bathroom and a bedroom. And there doesn't appear to be anyone home.
Yeah, Theo, I think you were right. This doesn't feel right.
Can we get some lights on in here?
The SWAT guy nods, and both he and Lucy begin turning on lights in the house, allowing you to start looking around.
I think Frank would be, before we start actually like tossing the place, I think he would initially focus on that gut feeling that Theo was kind of putting out of like something about this just doesn't quite feel right. So I'm gonna try to be observing things like, has anyone been in here recently? Is there a weird smell? Is there any food around? Anything like that. Not necessarily like deep searching, just
just a cursory glance.
How long's it been? Yeah.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden, please.
Oh, that's an 8 versus 60, extreme success.
Cool. I'll get to that in a second. What is Theo? Are you doing or looking for anything at the moment?
I was probably thinking around the same, like just trying to get an idea on like whether anyone's been here for a while, whether it looks like they kind of cleared out quickly. So, is there any like food in the fridge? Is there any like evidence that people were here?
Yeah, you give me a spot hidden as well, please.
That is a 72 versus 60, which is a failure.
Yeah, so Theo, you look through the living room and the kitchen. It's hard to say. You open the fridge, there's some food and stuff in there. It looks like maybe someone's been here recently, but whether that's, just this morning or yesterday or what's hard to say. Frank, you move up the hallway and down into the bedroom area. You see there's like a desk with like a little home office set up. And you see there is a laptop charger on the desk, still plugged in. It's glowing blue, but there's no laptop there. And then as you sort of move back into the kitchen to regroup with Theo, as they're standing around, the rest of the SWAT team are just kind of looking around, kicking around. You also notice on the kitchen counter, there is a landline phone plugged in, and the answering machine light is flashing.
Oh, yeah. I immediately play it.
Yeah, of course. It says that there are 3 new messages. They're all from today, Thursday. The first one is, hey there, it's Sarah. Just checking that you're coming in today. Is everything okay? All right. Well, I'll see you when I see you. Next message. Same person again. Hey, just checking if everything's okay. If you're taking the day off, that's fine. Just hope you're well. Just checking in. And then a third message from in the afternoon. Hey, give me a call when you can. It's Sarah. All right. Hope everything's okay. Speak to you soon.
Boss?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. I meant like, as in, So, is that what we can assume to be Lindsay's boss?
Sounded like it.
Well, she might be able to fill us in on the court case from a few years ago as well.
As you're saying that, the SWAT guy walks back in to the kitchen area as well and says, hey, you guys want to come look at this? In the garage.
Yep, I'll follow.
Yeah. And you notice something as well with your extreme success, Frank, as you're walking through the living room towards the garage following these guys. There is a mantle with a bunch of trophies on it. They are like national level shooting competitions, a number of trap shooting awards.
Oh, okay.
And as you follow through into the garage, there is just in the corner there's no car, but there is a large gun safe.
Assume it's locked up?
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, assume they have the keys on them. But yeah, let's get this open. I'm betting we're going to find it empty.
Yeah. There are some tools in the garage as well. You can grab like a tire iron if you like and give me a strength test to try and smash this open, unless you have any locksmith skill or anything like that, if you like to approach it differently.
No. I've got a 1 in locksmith and a 10 in mechanical repair, so I don't think either will help.
Give me a strength roll, I'll say with a bonus. So you grab this tire iron and try and use it to wedge open the lock.
Oh, that's a 36 versus 70 success.
Yeah, great. As you open this thing. It's all locked up, kept the way they should be. There's even a little drawer down the bottom where you assume all the registration details and stuff are. There is one rifle there, but there is an empty space where other guns would normally be racked up.
I mean, since you mentioned that there's a drawer for registration, I think that would be first thing. Pull open the drawer, look to see if we can identify the missing weapon. Like, what is it,
Yeah, of course. You pull open the drawer and begin looking through. The rifle is there, but there are 2 other shotguns registered in Lindsay Peel's name, and they are missing.
Well, wherever they are very armed and very capable, so there's that. Surprising it's all legal, though. I mean, with what we know about the family. If her intentions were to harm them or harm the child, probably wouldn't be using a registered weapon. So maybe that's some relief.
Maybe. Or maybe like George, she wasn't planning on getting out of this alive.
Fair enough.
All right. Maybe we should try and find out who this Sarah from work is.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Look around the garage for any, caustic chemicals. I think Frank's just wondering if, they also burned off their fingerprints today or something,
Give me a spot hidden, please.
That's a 9 versus 60. Extreme success.
As you look through the garage and even look through under the kitchen sink and the bathroom and all that for anything along those lines, nothing. You do notice, though, in the bathroom medicine cabinet, antidepressant, Lovan medication.
I mean, I don't think Frank is going to think anything of that. They work an incredibly stressful job. I think anybody working for child services, would have call to need antidepressants. Can only imagine that's a fucking rough job.
Yeah.
But we'll take note of it. And then make my way back to Theo. You got anything?
I'm just trying to work out how this makes any sense. I think we need to talk to this Sarah, try and get a bit of a read on what what kind of mental state Lindsay was in last time she spoke, whether anyone's seen her with a child. I'm gonna like sort of check my watch and be like, we're running out of time.
Yeah, it's about 10:45 p.m. now.
I mean, I guess that, and I mean, we know the make and model of her car. Certainly her license is registered. As you said, we're running out of time. Maybe it's time to mobilize the traffic boys, see if any cams, like stoplight cams or anything, picked up her tags.
Lucy nods.
Well, I guess, yeah, let's talk to this work associate.
Yeah, no problem. The police are putting up crime scene tape and everything around the house as sort of a final sweep done, but unfortunately nothing in the way of laptops, phone notes, files or anything like that can be found. Before you leave, one thing that occurs to you, rather than trying to go through the CPS database or anything like that to find these people, you can also, if you wish, you realize from the answering machine itself, there was an option, to call this person back. Press 5.
Yeah, look, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I can make the call.
Yeah, give me a luck roll, please.
99 versus 75, which is a failure.
Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately it rings out. It doesn't tell you on the display what the number actually is, whether it's a mobile or whether it's an office number. It may be that it's an office phone and no one is there currently.
Well, surely it can't take that long to cross-check this. I need an address, and I'm just going to look to whoever is nearby.
Yeah, Lucy Bates says, yeah, we can look into it when we get back to the office.
Well, Bosco, anything else you want to do here?
No. I mean, kind of hoping we would find more, but it doesn't seem like there's too much to find.
Just like George's.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the laptop's been taken, as we saw from the charger sitting there. But bookshelf or anything? Do they also have the book?
They do not.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, that's last thought. Well, we know she was probably here yesterday based off that call. Today's the first day she's been missing, one can assume, but yeah, I guess back to the office. Starting to get concerned, though. Like you said, clock's ticking.
Yeah. All of you make your way out of Lindsay Peel's house, back to your vehicles and begin driving back to Cleveland PD. When you arrive at the police station, it's late, but it's still a hive of activity. Move in and back to the office, the area that you've got set up. Lucy Bates says to you, Theo, that she's going to talk to Kim about getting any detectives or getting any manpower they can on looking into the security cams, like the toll booths, the highways, any exits, anything that they can just continue trying to track the route of this vehicle and see where it may have went. So she's going to get onto that. And she leaves. And after that, this plainclothes detective, the one from George Lewiston's house, Franklin, with like a grimace on his face, walks over with a stack of documents. Here you go. And he throws them down on the desk in front of you.
What's all this?
This is George's, Lewiston's financial phone records, all that stuff we managed to pull.
Thank you, Franklin.
Yep. And he turns to leave.
Before you go, I mean, you pulled it all. Notice any irregularities that we should, there's a lot of paperwork here.
Yeah. Well, a few things. If you have a look there, and he sort of opens up the document. George paid all his bills a few days ago in advance, and then Tuesday withdrew $2,000 in cash. Looks like $1,000 of that went to the purchase of some kind of prepaid, one of those prepaid debit card things. Don't know what he did with the other $1,000.
All right.
Looks like he also bought 2 12-gauge shotguns 2 weeks ago and some ammunition. Nothing like that was recovered from the apartment.
He bought 2 12-gauge.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Man, I would hazard to bet those are the same ones that Lindsay was registered with. Although, who knows? Maybe they're both walking around. Well, George isn't walking around, but maybe they're all walking around with 2 shotguns.
What do you mean?
Earlier tonight, we were at Lindsay Peel's residence for a raid, and their gun's safe. They did have 2 shotguns registered, but none in there. It's just a rifle.
Oof.
All any of this says is what we already knew, that this is premeditated, that they've been planning this. And they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, true. All right, well, thank you, Franklin.
Yep.
Theo, what do you think? I don't want to sit around this damn precinct and just eat up time. Like, we need to beat the streets. There's gotta be something we can do. There's plenty of cops around here to look through paperwork and do that shit. I mean, if we can get a hold of that associate of Peel's, we can always do that on the road. But sitting around here twiddling our thumbs, I know it's the job, but...
No, I agree. We need to get out there. Has anyone found the contact details for Lindsay's associate yet?
Not yet, no. They need to look into the files and see if they can get all that. Unfortunately, they'll need someone to send it through to them, so it might take a second.
That's all right. I'll just make sure that they know to forward on any details to us. Turning back to Frank. I mean, you seem to know this diner. Is it an all-night affair?
I mean, I'd assume so. I've been a while since I've been there, but... yeah. And he, keys up a couple printouts. One of George and one of Lindsay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, good call.
Yeah. May as well. Get out there, ask around, see if anyone's seen them. At least in the last couple days together, or if Lindsay's been through the girl. And, I guess get a bite. It's going to be a long night.
Yeah, so as good a plan as any. So you, I guess, hop in the car. You're going to take separate cars? We're going to pull together.
I think at this point, it's probably worth just pulling together. Before I leave, though, I want to grab that, the bag that has the, odd book in it that we recovered from George's place, and take that with us.
Yeah, of course, yeah. The book of the Church of the Passover Angel. No problem. Did you want to sort of again skim through it as you're making the drive towards Extravaganza?
Yeah, I think if Frank's driving, then I would certainly be giving it more of a read.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you can spend a little more time to give it a bit of a read. Give me another library use roll, please.
Sorry, just trying to find it. There we are. All right, that is a 34 versus 45, which is a success.
Great, yeah. As you take a closer look, the first 2 chapters, like I said, they're reprints of the King James Version of the Bible, but just 2 books, Genesis and Exodus. But as you're flicking through the chapters, you notice that a clause from Exodus 11:6 is missing. The text simply skips from 11:5 to 11:7. Something is omitted.
Look, I feel like that's probably something that exists on the internet these days, so can I just Google that?
Yes.
I'll say it out loud. I'll just say it's... seems to be a reprint of Exodus, except for this one passage. 11.6. And I'll just be sort of typing it in, search as I go.
What's that now?
It's just one line that is missing, that is not in there, and it says this.
There will be loud wailing throughout Egypt, worse than there's ever been or ever will be again.
The whole chapter that is in the book, or the whole chapter of this Exodus 11, is about the plague on the first newborn. The chapter itself reads, "Now the Lord had said to Moses, I will bring one more plague on Pharaoh and on Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here, and when he does, he will drive you out completely. Tell the people that men and women alike are to ask their neighbors for articles of silver and gold. The Lord made the Egyptians favorably disposed towards the people, and Moses himself was highly regarded in Egypt by Pharaoh's officials and by the people. So Moses said, 'This is what the Lord says. About midnight I will go throughout Egypt. Every firstborn son in Egypt will die, from the firstborn son of Pharaoh, who sits on the throne, to the firstborn son of the female slave who is at her handmill, and all the firstborn of the cattle as well. There will be loud wailing throughout Egypt, worse than there has ever been or will ever be again. But among the Israelites, not a dog will bark at any person or animal. Then you will know that the Lord makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. All these officials of yours will come to me, bowing down before me and saying, 'Go you, all the people who follow you.' And after that I will leave." Then Moses, hot with anger, left Pharaoh. The Lord had said to Moses, "Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you, so that my wonders may be multiplied in Egypt." Moses and Aaron performed all these wonders before Pharaoh, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let the Israelites go out of his country. This is obviously the chapter about the plagues of Egypt and the death of the firstborn. But the line that they had omitted in this version, in the book of the Passover Angel, was the line about it never happening again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, seems to be a pretty normal thing among these kind of groups to cut out the parts you don't like. If the book just states it'll never happen again, that doesn't really fit with their whole message, does it?
I mean, I get all that. I just don't know why George and Lindsay would think there's anything to this. If they are just another one of these crazy little cults, why this kid?
I mean, what was his name? Jordan? No, not Jordan.
John Balfour.
John. Well, John Balfour seems to feel fairly persecuted and run out. He has a fixation with it being the government. I would assume that this is his connection of the government being, the Pharaoh, the powers that be, and he and his people being Moses. So, as they said, they'll bring down the plague. But who knows? Again, this is just my assumption. Although it does make me wonder if they felt this was going to come to pass, but their own firstborn would be safe. Hard to see how they feel about all that now.
Frank, while you're stewing over this, you feel your car, your Jeep, run over something. It's small, but you hit something, rolls under your tire. Give me a spot hidden as you're driving through the night storm.
Just casually hit and run something while we're talking about the Bible. Yeah.
It felt small, but it was something nonetheless. You feel like a ba-dum. So you run over something.
34 versus 60. That's a success.
You sort of slow down and flick on your high beams for a moment to see through the storm, and you see that through the rain, the water that's rushing up through the street gutters, as you're driving through, there's aquaplanes, there's dips where there's, the water level's quite high on the road. You see maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen frogs hopping from one side of the road.
Oh, of course.
out of the storm drains and across. Give me a sanity roll, please.
Yeah.
Both.
Yes, please.
19 versus 40, hard success.
20 versus 50, hard success.
Well, I mean, you tell me what you guys make of seeing these dozens of frogs hopping out of the storm drains.
I mean, I don't think Frank thinks anything of it. There's all sorts of places in the U.S. where there's odd migrations of creatures.
Look, again, I think Theo's probably pretty incredulous, but just, I'll probably look over to Frank and say, now, again, I'll admit, I don't know my Bible, but this seems familiar.
The frogs?
Just tell me that this is normal at this time of year, in this place.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm not a local, but I mean, if you're asking, do I think it's a biblical plague? No, I don't. Now, I mean, if we suddenly get swarmed by locusts in the next 10 minutes, I might change my opinion, but...
Is the rain itself, like, unseasonable?
Give me an education roll.
Where are we? 51 versus 70, which is success.
There wasn't supposed to be rain today, not according to the weather reports.
And when did it start? It started, like, basically when I got the phone call, right?
Pretty much.
It's been raining non-stop for the last 4 or 5 hours, and it wasn't forecast at all.
No.
Look, again, I think it's too far for Theo, so she's just gonna keep staring out the window at the frogs and the rain, but not gonna say anything else because it just sounds absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. Certainly does. And in short time, you pull up out the front of this late night diner, extravaganza.
Yeah, gather together whatever files I might have tossed in, the very organized filing pile in the back of the car. And head in.
Yeah, of course. It's a as you rush in, it's a pretty grungy place. It's pretty quiet at this time of night as well. There are two people sitting up at the bar eating, chicken and waffles, something along those lines.
Perfect.
And there just appears to be one staff on you can see and someone in the kitchen.
Not gonna sit at the bar because we might want to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. But we'll slide into a booth, not too far from the counter.
Yeah, of course. Give me an appearance roll from each of you, please.
32 versus 60, success.
57 versus 50, fail.
The server gets out from behind the counter with 2 menus tucked under his arm, a little cloth in one hand, and walks over, wipes down the table for you and drops the plastic menus down. Kind of smiles at you, Theo, and looks over at Bosco. Says, how are we all doing tonight?
Not too badly. So, are you regular here?
Am I regular here? Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Pretty much 5 days a week, yeah.
So you have a pretty good idea of customers who comes and goes?
Yeah. Are y'all here for something to eat, or?
I'm gonna flash my badge.
Oh.
Yeah.
He kind of steps back and says, scratches the back of his head and kind of leans in a little bit and says, what seems to be going on?
We're looking for a woman who may or may not have been in here in the last couple of weeks. I'll nod to Frank's pile of well-filed documents.
Yeah, he'll pull out those printouts. Yeah, he'll pull out the printouts of both George and Lindsay.
He looks at the photos, raises an eyebrow and says, I ain't never seen her before, but he taps the photo of George and says, Yeah, well, George comes in pretty much every morning for breakfast.
Did he come in today?
I wasn't on for the breakfast shift, but I assume so. Why's that?
You usually come in alone? Ever see him with anybody?
Nah, likes to eat alone. Nice guy. Kind of quiet.
Yeah, well, that's George. Chicken and waffles, black coffee.
Oh.
And, look at Theo, what do you want?
Yeah, he fumbles for a moment, pulls out his pad and pen.
I'll have the toast.
Sure thing. Hey, can I ask what this is about?
As I said, we're just trying to find this lady.
And what about George?
Well, George might be involved with this lady that we're trying to find. Seems pretty, certain that he has been meeting with her, which is why we asked you if you'd seen them together. But, I mean, like you said, he normally eats alone, although I'm sure while that food's cooking, you might think of a different time you've seen him with somebody, or something will come to mind, you know.
He says, yeah, well, do you want me to see if he was in this morning, or?
I mean, ideally, yeah.
I can do that. And, yeah, he'll jot down your order, and he says, anything to drink? As he looks at you, Theo.
I'm gonna look at my watch again and say, yeah, I guess it'll be a coffee too.
Sure. Dots the little pad and runs over and rips the docket off and passes it slides it over the kitchen pass. And, yeah, comes back, plops some little bottle of water and some glasses on the table. And then you see he goes over to the cash register and begins looking through some documents, looking through the little receipts.
So why do I get the feeling like this is going to be another dead end?
Because you ordered toast. Well, I mean, if he has been in here with somebody, then we'll have something to go on. But if nothing else, all we can do is keep asking around while we wait to hear if anyone tagged that car.
Would each of you give me a luck roll, please?
59 versus 75, success.
21 versus 60, hard success.
Amazing. Yeah, Sebastian comes over and gives you each black coffee, walks back over to the till, begins looking through these chit receipts a little more. And then, so he prints something off and then walks back over to the table to the two of you. He says, yeah, looks like he was in this morning. This was his order. Eggs, over easy, black coffee. Funnily enough, he pulls out like a little receipt, debit card receipt. It's just, looks like he paid with, it's a bit strange. Paid with a brand new debit card. I only noticed it because he had to sign his name. It looks like, yeah, the first receipt was declined. Second receipt came through. I don't know, maybe he hadn't authorized it yet. I don't use those things. A prepaid debit card, huh?
All right. You get a copy of that receipt.
Yeah, sure. And he passes it to you. And you see it's got his signature, and they wrote down the expiration date and the security code and everything, because it looks like it was authorized then and there. So you've got the card number and all those details. And Sebastian's like, I'll go check on your food, and turns to leave the table.
Well, that's something. I mean, if he just activated this morning, then certainly he meant to pass it off to somebody. Somebody's probably still using it. Maybe Lindsay.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be on the phone to the back to the police station to get somebody to try and run this card.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can pass that off. Absolutely. You make the call. Lucy says, yep. She'll look into it.
Any word on the mysterious Sarah?
Not yet, I'm afraid.
And nothing on the medication front?
Not yet. I mean, gosh. Who knows if she's even still in Cleveland?
Yeah, well, we'll finish up here, and I'll let you know where we're going next.
Yeah.
I'll hang up and just kind of, shake my head, look over to Frank and say, got nothing so far.
Yeah. I mean, everything takes time. We just don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, your food arrives. Toast, side of butter, a bunch of spreads left out, and then of course chicken, waffles, eggs. This huge plate gets brought out to Frank Bosco.
Oh yeah, he dashes on some hot sauce and honey, and then just goes to town. No manners whatsoever. Ravenously eats.
I never really could get my head around that.
Around what?
Chicken and waffles.
Have you ever had it?
I've lived here for over 20 years. Yeah. Still don't get it.
Well, fair enough. I think he's not gonna stand for chicken and waffles. He's just gonna eat his food. If only I had an impassioned debate in the realm of chicken and waffles.
As you're sitting there eating this meal at this diner, each of you can give me a spot hidden.
It's 27 versus 60, hard success.
I'd say another failure with an 85 versus 60.
Yeah, so maybe you're sitting there eating in silence, just stewing over what's happened so far. And as you're at this booth with the glass window looking out into the street, Frank, you notice out of the corner of your eye a black SUV that's been parked there, just idling. And you kind of realize that it's been there almost the entire time that you've been in this diner now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the minute he notices that, he's not going to dwell on this too long. We're running out of time, so he's going to act. And he'll, discreetly nod towards the window and say, black SUV just out front. Might be watching us. Keep an eye out. But, be discreet. And, stand up and, stretch like he's going to go to the bathroom. And then go out. Try to get up to the SUV without them noticing. Ooh. Knock on the window. Probably gun out.
Ooh, okay.
Badge and gun out, I should say. Not just...
Yeah. If you realize this thing is watching you, stealthing out's probably not going to be an option.
Yeah.
So you're just going to move quickly, badge out?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. You move to the front door, open, and you see this SUV idling. The light appears to be on. The headlights are on but dim. The engine's rolling, and you lift your shirt up, badge out. Do you draw your weapon as well?
I think he puts his hand on it. Yeah, he does the whole unclick the holster, ready to pull it out. But I'm not walking out gun pointed at this car. Not that level. But ready, yeah, gun out as it ready in hand.
Give me an appearance roll, please.
Yeah. Perfect. 89 versus 50. That's a fail.
Yeah, as you begin to move closer, this car engine revs on and it begins to do a pull out very quickly, U-turn and drive off. You do, however, with that hard success, catch the license plate. It's Cleveland plates, or Ohio plates anyway.
Yeah, I think he'll kind of chuckle to himself, re-snap the holster, go back inside, or write down the plates. You see that?
Yeah, we could have got the plates without you going out there.
We could have. I mean, I assumed you did. I just thought, maybe I could have a chat with them and get a sight of somebody inside. Unfortunately, I did not.
At this point, Theo, your phone vibrates. A message coming through.
Yep, I will pull it out.
And it's from Lucy. She says, have a few charges on this prepaid debit card. First one, Extravaganza Cafe. The second one is at a big box store, the Bed Bath & Beyond. The same store from which Regina was kidnapped, but earlier that day. So it's quite a large shopping list. And then a third purchase that afternoon for a rental car agency in Akron.
I'll read out the two, like the vendors, like the Bed Bath and Beyond, wasn't it? And the dealership. What kind of things does it itemize the kind of things that he bought from the big box store?
Yes, she sends an attachment through of the receipt itself. It includes things like packaged food, like stuff that wouldn't require things to prepare. You see lots of that. Clothes, sized and appropriate for a 5-year-old girl, just as child clothes. Toiletries, first aid, DVDs, DVD player, snacks, energy drinks, cold medicine, and also a portable radio scanner. One that's like, you recognize it's the one that's capable of monitoring police, fire, EMT frequencies. Those kinds of things are not illegal in Ohio. And then the other purchase is, a deposit for a rental car in Akron.
I'll show Frank the list.
Well, that's good news. That's a lead. I mean, most of these rental cars have, was it LoJack or GPS? I don't have to run plates on that. We can just find it.
Yep.
Agreed. But look at the rest of this again.
Oh, they're planning on holding up.
Yeah.
I mean, it just circles back to why they wanted the bag. They know the girl needs the medicine. I mean, like you said earlier, they're gonna have to get it somehow. Whether that's through, assuming it is Lindsay's connections with Child Protective Services, or if they have somebody rob a pharmacy or something. Otherwise, it looks like they're pretty stocked.
I think this is the end. Why would Lindsay try and take Regina from the Balfours years ago? Why are they stocking up with everything that they need to keep her happy and healthy now? I think she does care about this kid. I think this is our in.
Makes sense.
We just need to find her.
Well, let's keep the DMV busy. Run the plates on that black vehicle that was just outside, although I have a feeling that's probably the Balfours or somebody connected with them. And let's get the GPS on that car.
That is probably where we will leave this episode. As the two of you gather your things and put together the short list of your next actions here from Miss Dinah late on this Thursday evening. And we will see what our investigators get up to next time.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff.
See you then.